Yeah, he's all around. Look at everything created, brother.
I have a question for you.
Oh, I have an answer for you.
So,
Hopefully.
do you believe there's no abortion in every scenario?
I believe that abortion is the unjustified taking of a human life. So just like I can't kill him for no reason, I can't kill you for no reason, I can't kill an unborn child for any reason. And there's no reason for, so the normal arguments people make, right? Life of the mother, incest, or rape. So I'd say rape and incest, this sign kind of answers that, where women are not sex objects, right? So rape is an atrocious evil.
You got a sign that says who's going to take care of all these kids?
I can answer that after I answer her if you want, brother. I stand outside a clinic and offer to adopt. My wife and I are ready to adopt any. So if you know someone that's pregnant trying to kill their kid,
she's got plenty.
I'll give you my number. Praise God, I'll adopt their babies if it keeps them from killing their baby. Absolutely. Sorry. So babies are not body parts, right? They are a independent human being requiring the nurturing of their mother. So even if they're conceived in rape or incest, that is still a human being. And then life of the mother, a doctor has to treat both patients, right? So 22, 23 weeks, preeclampsia, placenta detachment, you need to remove the baby and try to save it. And if it dies, that's not an abortion. But if you're at 14 weeks and you have early onset diabetes, you can't just kill the baby, right? You have to try to save both patients within reason, right? And so I don't think we should have an exception to kill babies for the life of the mother, namely because that's usually classified as psychological. So right now there's babies in certain states, California is legal all the time, right? But in certain states, people can kill their babies because of psychological mental health reasons. And they call that life of the mother. And I think that's dishonest. I don't think being depressed is a reason to kill a human. Does that answer your question though?
Well, I just have a specific, overall, yeah.
Okay, I kind of went long just to make sure I cover the bases.
So I have a specific scenario with a client I'm working with.
Okay.
So she's 12 and she was raped
Tragic.
by several men in the family. Ended up having a baby out of that rape.
Yeah.
And then the baby has so many issues, including, I see this firsthand, so it's so hard for me to see. So what would be your suggestion at that point if she's found out it's incest and wants an abortion? But now because you say no abortion, and then there's really no programs to help, and this poor kid has a life that's going to be shitty. What would be your suggestion for that best case scenario?
So that situation, so the best way I would answer that is the same premise I said at the beginning, is that child with cystic fibrosis, cerebral palsy, whatever, made from incest, that's going to have to be given up for adoption because a 12-year-old can't raise her or him, is still a human being that does not deserve to be killed because of the sin of its father, which was rape. And so that is a tragic reality, but eliminating that child does not remove the rape, and it does not bring justice for the child. All it does is create another victim, which is the unborn child. I know people with cystic fibrosis, people with cerebral palsy, people conceived in rape, they all deserve to have life. And so that situation, I think you can admit, is a very rare one. So I appreciate us going there, but I would apply the same logic as all the other babies, is that it's made in the image of God and you can't kill it. I think quality
of life is horrific, I can tell you that.
Is the baby born yet?
Yes.
Okay, so should we just euthanize it?
No, I believe that we should have.
Well, what's different in utero versus, sorry, you're a woman, I apologize. I need to stop doing that, it's kind of offensive.
That's one thing.
Well, no, the baby's already been born.
No, I'm saying you said what's different when it's in the uterus. And the difference is she's 12.
The mother was 12.
Yes.
Okay.
So it should have been aborted just because she's 12.
Did she give birth to the child?
Yes.
So then, I don't think it was a reason to kill it. Did it kill the mother? So, because you kind of went off a tangent there, man. You made a statement, and the question I was asking is, if that baby's life is miserable.
You're saying because the baby was born, should we kill it?
I'm saying
we should have prior to being born.
And that's the crux. What is different between being in the womb and out of the womb?
Well,
the baby, there's a point in infanticide to where they can feel pain.
It is.
And so I fully believe
Got it.
if you know about it and you can prior to feeling pain, that you should abort because the quality of life of that child, and I see the life stage I've been doing 25 years.
Good to see you, buddy.
Is horrific.
No,
for that baby and for the mom.
Yeah. Did she give it up for adoption?
No.
No, because they're.
Caring for it.
Yeah. Is it her child? Does she treat it like her child? Does she love it?
Yeah.
Then why would anybody, not you, why would anybody?
She's burdened by this.
Yes.
But she's doing because morally, how she is a wonderful person. I have to take care of the child. But that shouldn't have been on her in the first place. And what the baby has to endure, both of them together, the trauma, the grief, the loss, all of the things he has to go through medically, financially. She's not set up financially. And I don't have foster parents that are willing to say, we're down for the life of this baby to give you exactly what you need. Right? If you're rich, you have the resources, that's a whole better life than the quality of life this baby could not possibly have.
Got it. Can I respond to that?
Of course.
Okay. Well, because I want to make sure you finish your point.
Thank you.
No flattery intended, because flattery is kind of, a tactic. I appreciate you being genuine about your career path and your experience, because most people who use the arguments you're using are completely ignorant. They just come here and say, well, what about the girl who gets raped and has a baby with special needs? But they don't see that firsthand.
And they don't have firsthand knowledge.
So they kind of use it like weaponize it. You're not weaponizing it. I can see emotion and grief, which I think is given you by God. I think God has given you a heart for other human beings, right? So with that, to answer your question, or to ask a question to answer, is she in California? I assume yes.
Yes.
So she could have legally aborted that baby.
Yes.
So this is kind of an anecdote we're talking about, right now. I'm saying that if we got to a place where God would revolutionize our society to give repentant hearts, where we see human beings as more than discardable, the society also would reform to care for that mother and that baby. Right now, I agree, it sounds insane because, like you said, programs are being canceled. People don't care enough about mothers with babies with severe disabilities. But I would say that happens, what you're saying, that woman who's kind of, I don't say helpless, but she's not getting help, right? That is a fruit of a culture that allows the murder of children electively. So what I'm just saying is your anecdote, which is a real story, that's what an anecdote is, right? You're giving me a story, you're telling me something, that exists because we have a culture that doesn't value life. So that is supporting my argument. My argument is we should value life enough where we don't murder at all, and that naturally would lead to fruit of caring for those kind of babies you're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I hear your argument. I'm just saying, for me, there's rare circumstances such as this that I think abortion would have been the way to go.
Okay.
But a lot of your premise is because you believe in God and all.
I believe the baby's made in the image of God, and I can't murder you, I can't murder him. And the premise I'm arguing to your anecdote, which again was not great anecdote, it's tragic, but it's very fitting, right? You know what I mean?
It's a real example.
I'm not trying to manipulate it. That reality is not the norm with abortion, first and foremost. And so the conversation starts on, should we be able to kill human beings in the womb at all?
And it's the deciding factor when you think it's an actual human being.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, and so those are all conversations. And so I would just say, praise God for what you do with your work. That's very kind. I can tell you're cold. You probably go back in the sun, right? But I appreciate the conversation. I would just land the plane on saying that human being, that child who's sick and hurt and needs a mother and society to care for it, if it's not getting that care, that right there, it not getting care has nothing to do with abortion. That is a overall broken society.
But it's inherent. That baby's gonna have problems regardless of how society's gonna
and we
help
shouldn't kill
them.
people because they have health problems.
And we disagree about what the person is.
But it's a person now.
Yeah, I don't think you should.
It wasn't suffering in the womb. It wasn't suffering in the womb. And I'm telling you, there are people who have prognosis. So I know, and I would have to send it to you, but there's a pastor, abortion clinic, met a girl. I have to abort this baby, stage 4 cystic fibrosis, or spina bifida. My baby's spine's gonna be on the outside. He said, I will adopt your baby. Do not kill your baby. She didn't. She gave birth, not a scratch on that baby because the ultrasounds were wrong. So the argument I'm making right now, you are after the fact, you can see the problems. But a lot of babies are aborted for health issues that we don't know if they really had. Right? So I'm just, again, arguing you have to go from the moral foundation. Can we kill human life? Can we murder it? Because self-defense is a whole nother conversation, right? But she's freezing, so you got to get her to the sun.
The reason I said 14 is, so what's your view on the age that kids should be having sex? Isn't it the legal age?
I don't think you should have sex before you're married, but
okay.
I don't know if 18 is the right answer, but I'm also not looking for child brides. I don't know what you're.
You can vote, but
yeah,
but 14.
Hey, that kid shouldn't have been having sex, and she got pregnant. That's her daughter.
Was raped.
Or son. Okay.
So
that's still her daughter or son. And
ridiculous.
But what do you think should happen to the rapist? What do you think?
He should be killed.
I think he should be hung publicly.
Yes.
So we're on the same page.
Yeah,
so why would we punish his child for his sin? If under my premise, so the issue is, right, we disagree on human life's value.
Yeah.
I say, and
most of them are the dad doing it.
Yeah, well, I push back because I figure you could take it because you seem like you like going back and forth. Like, I'm all about justice for the rapist.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with aborting the baby or not. The baby's existence does not bless or curse the dad. And actually, the existence of the baby can prove the rape, right? A lot of rapists, and I don't have it out here. I have a sign that says rapists, pimps, and pedophiles love abortion because pimps take their women in to get abortion. I see women get out of Ubers with a guy that's much older than them. Yeah, right? And so my argument against that anecdote you said is, yeah, the rape was horrible. He should be hung publicly for it. That baby, back to the premise, is made in the image of God, and there's people, I guarantee one person out here that was conceived in rape. And I don't think you have the right, or I have the right, or she has the right to look at that person and say, okay, yeah.
You're saying when it has life, don't kill it. We want to see what kind of life it can have. Just so you know, when I call foster parents, the ability of that child getting fostered by a good family and adopted is 0.
No, I understand.
That baby has no chance.
That's tragic. And that right there is a fruit of a society that does not love children like they should.
And there's no talk about what to do with that. It's all about against abortion or not abortion.
No, I would love.
About when the baby's born. You guys care about it before it's
I care a lot about it.
Then when it's born, there's nothing to help.
But you should look into the stats of the criminals that were adopted and born under rape, and you should be looking.
So we should have just killed them in utero.
No, I'm just telling you the misery that this baby's going to cause. I know you believe in life, but the things that it's going to happen because he doesn't have the chances that everybody else has.
Well,
he's just born into a fucking, like a rape situation. I know. I'm sorry.
You're being kind, and I would just say that there's a foundation for morality we all have, right? We all argue from foundations. My foundation is that God created a law, and part of that law is do not murder, right? But the other part of that law is to care for the fatherless and the orphans. So I would argue that Christians in our culture are failing to love their neighbors and the oppressed and the fatherless, 100%. But I also think we also live in a culture that murders its children. So both of those are issues we need to fix. I would not appeal, or I'm not saying I don't encourage you, but like you appealing to the issue of not caring for fatherless children has nothing to do, like that's what I'm doing. I'm appealing, children that are taken to abortion clinics are fatherless because either the father's not involved or he's pressuring it, right? And so we're actually arguing a similar point. And it comes down to what did God say? And God said he created life at conception. You're valuable, she's valuable, and he sent Christ to show us that as an embryo. He came into the world as an embryo, was born in the womb of a woman, out of the womb. And Can I give you a card? So like that way you can just think about the crazy guy that was talking to you?
Yeah.
There's some good resources, okay? Well, I believe that Jesus Christ saves from sin, and I want that for you guys. And I'd love to talk again. I'm here every Thursday. Okay, God bless. Praise God.